Morning, sir. My name is Janandro M. Baguin, and today I'm going to discuss about the cyber viruses. First, the Code Red virus. The Code Red worm was first discovered and researched by EI Digital Security employees Mark Myfret and Ryan Permy. The Code Red worm exploited a vulnerability discovered by Riley Hassel. They named it Code Red because Code Red Mountain Dew was the what was that what Mountain Dew was what they were drinking at the time. Code Red was a computer worm observed on the internet on July 15, 2001. It attacked computers running Microsoft IIS web server. It was the first large-scale mixed threat attack to successfully target enterprises networks. Ang kanina ko nung Code Red, napangalan ko na nilang Mark Maffrin and Ryan Perme sa mong gitawag nilang Code Red kay tungod kay ang Code Red nagikan din siya sa Mountain Dew kay mao kay ang Mountain Dew man ang ilang giinom that time pagbuhat siguro sa Code Red. Then sa internet itatak computers running mo-attack kuno ning Code Red sa mga computers nga nag-run og Microsoft IIS web server. Mo ni siya ang primerong pinakadako nga scale nga sagol og threat attack na successful sa ilang target pamaagi sa networks. Although the worm had been released on July 13, the largest group of infected computers was seen on July 19, 2001. On that day, the number of infected hosts reached 359,000. The worm showed a vulnerability in the growing software distributed with IIS described in Microsoft Security Bulletin MS01-033, for which a patch had been available a month earlier. The worm spread itself using a common type of vulnerability known as buffer overflow. It did this by using a long string of the repeated letter N to overflow a buffer, allowing the worm to execute arbitrary code and infected the machine with the worm. Kenneth D. Eichmann was the first to discover how to block it, and it was invited to the White House for his discovery. Code is a worm which caused possible billions of dollars of damage in the summer of 2001. It contains the text string hacked by Chinese, which is displayed on web page that was worm defaces. It is also one of the few worms able to run entirely in memory, living on files on the hard drive or any other permanent storage, although some variants do. Next virus is Nimba. Nimba is a first appearing on Nimba appeared on September 18, 2001. Nimba is the computer virus that caused traffic slowdowns as it rippled across the internet. Nimba is spread through 4 different methods: infecting computers containing Microsoft Windows web server, known as Internet Information Server (IIS), and computer users who and in, opened an email attachment. Like several predecessor viruses, the Nimba worm's payload appears to the traffic slowdown itself. It it did not destroy the file on the operating system or cause harm to the computer security. Instead, it served more to cause chaos through the slowing of traffic to denial of service. Its file name, which spelled backward as admin, refers to the admin.dii files shared through shared through a email message that, when run, continues to propagate, causing an outbreak of worm copies. NIMDA affected computers running on Windows 95, 98, 2000, and Windows NT and XP before a patch we created to rectify the vulnerability. A company called F-Secure uncovered the text concept virus CVV.5 copyright C2000 RP R.P. China in the NIMDA code, which helped narrow down the origin of the virus. It is another example of the code red and the code. Another example is the code red and code red 2 outbreaks that attack computers running Microsoft IIS. Unlike NIMDA, those worms created a backdoor in the target system, making it vulnerable to future attacks. A worm called NIMDA infects both emails and internet websites. NIMDA is spread through email, through web servers, and through file sharing. Infected computers scan the network for vulnerable computers, which puts a heavy load on network and can cause poor performance. NIMDA also created open network shares on the local drives of a computer, which could allow outsiders to access the computer. Condition where this virus infection is potential. Windows 2000 models using IIS with no countermeasure towards vulnerability taken. Using Internet Explorer 5.01, 5.01 SP1, 5.5, or 5.1 SP. When accessible shared folders are open to buy the computers that are already infected. Next is I love you virus. I love you. I love you, sometimes referred as a love bug or love letter for you, is a computer worm that infected over 10 million Windows personal computers and on and after 5 May 2000. It started spreading as an email message with the subject line I love you and the attachment love letter for you that text.vps. At that time, Windows computers often hid the letter file extension VBS, a type of interpreted file. By default, because it is an extension for a file type that Windows knows, leading an waiting user to think it was a normal text file. Opening the attachment activates the Visual Basic script. First, the worm inflects the image on the local machine, overwriting random files, including Office files and image files. However, it hides MP3 files instead of deleting them. Then the worm copies itself to all address in the Windows address book used by Microsoft Outlook, allowing it to spread much faster than any other previous email worm. Onel de Guzman is the creator of the I Love You virus. Then, 24 years old residents of Manila, Philippines created the malware because there were no laws in the Philippines against making malware at the time of its creation. The Philippine Congress enacted Republic Act No. 792, otherwise known as the E-Commerce Law, in July 2000 to discover future iterations of such activity. However, the Constitution of the Philippines bans ex post facto laws and such, the Guzmans could not be prosecuted. And the next is Melissa virus. One attack would change that in significant way. In late March 1919, a programmer named David Lee Smith hijacked he hijacked an America Online AOL account and used it to post a file on the internet news group named alt.sex. The posting promised dozens of free passwords to fee-based websites with adult content when users took the bait, downloading the document and then open it with Microsoft Word, and a virus unleashed on their computers. On March 26, it began spreading like wildfire across the internet. The Melissa virus, reported named by Smith for a stripping in Florida, started by taking over victims' Microsoft Word program. It then used a micro to hijack their Microsoft Outlook email system and send messages to the first 50 addressed in their email list. Those messages in turn tempted recipients to open a virus-laden attachment by giving it such name as sexy.gpg or naked wife, or by deceitfully asserting, "Here is the document you requested. Don't show anyone else." With the help of some devious social engineering, the virus operated like a sinister, automated chain letter. The virus was not intended to steal money or information, but it worked plenty of havoc. Nonetheless, email servers that more than 300 corporations and government agencies worldwide became overloaded, and some had to be shut down entirely, including at Microsoft. Approximately 1 million email accounts were disrupted, and internet traffic in same locations slowed to a crawl. Within a few days, cybersecurity experts had mostly contained the spread of the virus and restored the functionality of their networks. Although it took some time to remove the infection entirely. Along with its investigation role, the FBI sent out a warning about the virus and its effects, helping to alert the public and reduce the destructive impact of the attack. Still, the collective damage was enormous, as estimated $80 million for the cleanup and repair of affected computer systems. Finding the culprit didn't take long, thanks to the tip from a representative of AOL and nearly seamless cooperation between the FBI, New Jersey Law Information, and other authorities traced an electronic fingerprints of the virus to Smith, who was arrested in northeastern New Jersey on April 19, 1991. Smith pleaded guilty in December 1991 and 2000. He was sentenced to 20 months of federal prison and fined $5,000. He also agreed to cooperate with federal and state authorities. The Melissa virus, considered the fastest spreading infection in that time, was a rude awakening to the dark side of the web for many Americans. Awareness of the danger of opening unsolicited email attachments began to grow, along with the reality of online viruses and the damage they can do, like the Morris worm. Just over a decade earlier, the Melissa virus was a double-edged sword, leading to the enhancement in online security while serving as inspiration for a wave of even more costly and potent cyber attacks to come. For the FBI and its colleague, the virus was a warning sign of a major germinating threat and of the need to quick ramp up these cyber capabilities and partnership. Fittingly, a few months after Smith was sentenced, the Bureau put in place its new National Cyber Division focused exclusively on online crimes with resources and programs devoted to protecting America's electronic network from harm. 20 years later, nearly nearly everything in our society connected to the internet. That cyber mission is more crucial than ever. And that's all, sir. Thank you.